Hello there and welcome back to Gigi Idol. My name is Gigi and thank you for joining me on my deep dive into rediscovering K-pop. So each week I'll be looking into the discography of a different girl group whose albums have sadly eluded me despite being an avid K-pop fan for 4 years. Today I thought it would be fun to take a look into Chebul, a group who, although I know all the members and had heard of pre-debut, has managed to escape my Spotify playlist besides the odd title track or two. They recently made their long-awaited comeback with Love in Space, so I thought it was time to finally take a look into their B-sides and see just what I and the Korean general public are missing out on. Okay, first off, it took me way too long to find the ampersand on the keyboard. Second, although I'd heard the chorus of this song too many times to count, I'd yet to encounter the verses, and let me say they definitely live up to the chorus. The chorus is arguably the most important piece of any song as it's the main catch to draw you in, but sitting through a bad verse to get to the chorus isn't always worth it. Thankfully though, Q&A doesn't have this problem, which is a huge relief. The song is punchy and catchy. It has a playful confidence to it that suits the members well and is a great introduction to the group overall. My only gripe with the song is the chanting pre-chorus and back end of the bridge. It's nothing horrendous and definitely doesn't ruin the song for me, but it does momentarily remove me from the song. It takes me from getting ready for the school dance montage to hyping up the football team. Overall, though, the song is a cute, fun time that'll make an excellent addition to my playlist. There's nothing wrong with this song other than the fact that I unfortunately find it a bit boring. Personally, I prefer when the slower stripped back song on an album is either heartbreakingly sad or coffeehouse background music. I'd call Violet the sonic equivalent to receiving a heart-shaped lollipop on Valentine's Day. It's a kind gesture and I do appreciate it, but it's overall a bit simple and I'm personally not a huge fan of sugar. Similarly, with this song, I can only have a small piece of candy before I grow sick of it. So that being said, I do think this song will be nice every once in a while and works well as a staple debut soft B-side, but it's not a song I'd actively seek out. The producers at IST heard this song and immediately got to work on Weekly. The second half of the chorus sounded so familiar to me, and I had to replay it about 8 times before it finally hit me that the melody momentarily mimics Here We Go Again by Demi Lovato. They definitely didn't sample it, and I'm not claiming any kind of plagiarism, but those 3 seconds unlocked a foggy memory in the back of my head, and if I didn't figure it out, it was going to drive me insane. Back to Stick Out on its own, unfortunately this song doesn't follow the lead of its title. Again, not a bad song, but it's a bit bland. I try not to be too harsh on debuts since putting a group together and crafting a signature sound while also appealing to the general public is no easy task, so I don't fault companies for following a standard debut formula, but this song just does not stick out to me in any way. It's not incredibly good nor outrageously bad, but it doesn't leave any impression on me. Overall, I'd give this album a 6 out of 10. It's a pretty standard debut. The title track is definitely the standout, which I would certainly hope for when trying to introduce your newest group, but the B-sides are unfortunately lacking. Stick Out and Violet are songs that fade into background noise within my playlist, while Q&A draws my attention and breaks me away from my current task to make sure I sing along. If the B-sides were just a little stronger, I would have considered this a fantastic debut, but for now it's just standard to me. Really builds really well off of Q&A. The hidden build-up lurking behind the pre-chorus works beautifully to grow into the chorus itself. There's no disappointing anti-drop or overdone noise. The chorus itself is a bit simple but incredibly effective. It does exactly what it has to do and delivers a fun, catchy, easy listen. Would I consider this one of the best title tracks of all time? Probably not. But with a few more listens, I think I could easily consider it one of my favorites of all time. It gives me a comforting sense of warmth and happiness and makes me look even more forward to the warmer days ahead, so I can play this in a setting I feel it deserves for full appreciation. Y'all should have listened to Hyuna and Dawn and played ping pong, because maybe then Chebul would be getting some appreciation. This is definitely my favorite of their B-sides so far. It's exactly the type of cute fun I love, especially with the 8-bit background music making me feel like an adorable, energetic video game character. Don't worry, Chebul, I will defeat FNC and rescue you from Nugudum. The bridge of this song is spectacular. Like, is it anything groundbreaking? Probably not, but that's not going to stop me from playing it back 20 times. I'm really hoping that the next song can build off of this quality, because I honestly wasn't feeling it from the first album. If Hands Up had a B-side, this would be it. Yes, I've heard Hands Up before, but be patient, we'll get to that in just a minute. This is my favorite Cherry Bullet song as of right now. Everything about this song hits for me. At first, the seemingly lackluster chorus left me a bit unfulfilled, but by the time it came around the second time, I was fully on board. I think a harder hitting chorus would have been overkill for this song. It's strong without being overpowering. Certain elements border on tropical house until the second verse comes in with eerily pitched background synths that make you notice the looming haunting synth playing above the chorus. Like, we love a song that I can play at the beach and my annual Halloween party. I appreciate the little bits of 8-bit synths tossed in every now and then to call back to the 2 previous tracks. The song is such a nice closer to wrap up the album and brings out a slightly darker tone sonically from the bright group we've seen without feeling forced or out of place. It's a perfect addition to their discography to make sure it's not overly sweet. It's like a little bit of salt in the sugar. This is a 9 out of 10. I thoroughly loved this album. A huge step up from their debut for me. I instantly added all the songs to my playlist after the first listen. Like, don't be surprised if I hunt down a physical copy after I finish recording this. Again, the debut was in no way bad for me, but if Let's Play Cherry Bullet was establishing the setup for their sound, Love Adventure is perfecting it. I adore the video game concept and elements and how they managed to incorporate it into the B-sides instead of solely focusing it on the title track like a lot of groups seem to do. Unfortunately, I do know that after this next release, FNC has seemingly abandoned it, and I'll make sure that they pay for their crimes, but I'm still very hopeful for the following mini albums if this is what they're able to pull out for a first comeback. So as previously stated, this song I have heard before, and I have to admit I've never really been a huge fan of it, mainly because of the chorus, but in the context of the rest of their discography, I actually really like it. Like, I really kind of love it, actually, and I'm mad that it took me this long to finally appreciate it. I think it builds well off of their previous 2 title tracks by keeping similar music elements in the 8-bit and synths and vocal effects being used as instrumentals, but bringing in those darker elements found in the previous album's closer. If you listen to everything chronologically, it creates a really smooth and seamless transition into this sound. I'd like to make it clear, though, that when I say that these songs are dark, I don't mean that they have a dark concept, but more so that the previous releases were full of lollipops, caramel, and chocolate chips, while Hands Up and Rudy are dark chocolate and peppermint patties. Still sweet, enjoyable candy, but a bit more bitter and with a little kick to them. Some might hear this song as a rebrand impacted by a lineup change, but to me this is all just a slight reformation, and it's beautifully done. If Q&A and Really Really are the cherry, Hands Up is the bullet. Wait, oh my god, and when someone points a gun at you, you put your hands up. Wow, okay, actually, FNC kind of geniuses for that one. Like, I doubt they had the brain cells to think of that, and it's probably just a coincidence. So, like, I won't give them too much credit, but, like, wow. Wow, my mind, that just clicked. Wow. Okay. So I have known about this song, but I did avoid it for reasons you can probably easily figure out. Listening to it now, though, I do actually enjoy it. If it weren't for the distasteful sample, I would probably make this a new summer essential. It's not much different from your standard K-pop summer song, but I don't need anything different. I need something that sounds like the sun, and this song does the job. However, it's still definitely my least favorite title from them. While it is an enjoyable song, it's lacking compared to their other titles and is the first song to disrupt their theme and concept, so I will not be directing all my disappointment and mild anger towards the abandonment of their video game concept towards Aloha Oi. I've heard this before. You've heard this before. We've all heard this before. I ranked it in my top 20 songs of 2021, and although it's now over a year old, every listen still feels so fresh to me. I can't even be mad at the loss of the video game concept if they're going to give me something like this. It may have dropped off from the 8-bit battle, but I'm going to choose to believe it's because they defeated the final boss in Hands Up. Wait, Q&A was the fun start of the game. Really, really was like playing through the various levels. Hands Up was the final boss battle, which explains the darker tone. Oh my god, and then Aloha Oi was their vacation after playing themselves through the whole game and everything. Wow. Wait, and Love So Sweet is just a return to the real world. Okay, you're welcome, FNC. I just pulled everything together. There you go. Cherry Bullet is once again cohesive. Okay. Yes, back to reality though. Love So Sweet does a fantastic job of refining Cherry Bullet. The instrumental borrows many elements that they've had in their previous title tracks, such as slightly distorted dreamy synths, subtle build-ups, and a lightly quirky earworm of an overlying instrumental theme throughout the track. In this case, that's the whistle that I constantly mimic when I have nothing better to do. The harsh shush of the sh And Jiwon's intoxicating 2020 decibel are the perfect preservatives to keep this song fresh. It's been a hot minute since we've been given a B-side from Cherry Bullet, so I'm admittedly a bit nervous to see if they can live up to the title and take the route of Love Adventure, or if I'll be left wishing for something more filling like I was after Let's Play Cherry Bullet, but we'll see. Okay, I know we generally discourage forcing yourself to like a song, but I will make myself love this chorus. The verses and bridge are magic to my ears. Just unfortunately, the chorus doesn't suit this song for me, and I don't want to say it, but it kind of ruins it. Like, the verses sound cohesive with Love So Sweet and build off of what we set up sonically with it, but the chorus just sounds like it was meant for a debut B-side. I love the quirky instrumental in the post-chorus that we hear in the intro, but I just can't make myself like the rest of the chorus. I'm so sorry. But I will. Don't worry, I will. I'll do anything for you. Follow me, verses and bridge. My beloveds, don't worry. I will come back for you. First off, thank you to the intro bringing me back to that one game I used to play on Barbie.com. This song is currently tied as my favorite Cherry Bullet B-side. I'm sorry I keep mentioning the fact that they don't have their video game concept anymore, but if they did, this would be a perfect title track for it. Like, hello, they're playing a racing game. We love Mario Kart. I'm actually kind of obsessed with this song though. Like, the deep bass in the post-chorus and second verse is almost reminiscent of Flipping a Coin by Billy, which if you watch my deep dive on them, you'll know I loved. I think I just love when songs have little oomps moments I can strut to, because they always end up adding a nice bit of kick and attitude to a group's discography. Plus, I just want to make the entire world my runway, because as we all know, the world revolves around me. So once again, I find myself preferring the verses to the chorus. However, this time it's not damning the song. I do think all parts of this song suit each other and all parts are strong, but I simply prefer the verses. Keep Your Head Up is still looking like my favorite from the bunch, but I'd call this one a close second. So 12 songs in, I'm admittedly running out of ways to describe these songs and my feelings towards them without sounding repetitive, so unfortunately this is where my thoughts on this will be ending, but it's whatever. Get it? Okay, anyway, I do thoroughly enjoy this song, and don't worry, it's now in my playlist. With a title like Ting-a-Ring Ring, I was expecting something like Ting 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 by ITZY, you know, another song with a little bit of oonts, oonts, oonts. But instead we were served with this dreamy, stargazing lullaby. A heartwarming song and solid closer to the album, but I do find myself feeling similar to how I felt with Violet. Again, far from bad, but just a bit boring and lackluster. However, I do enjoy it and can definitely see it growing on me. Songs like this are typically the ones I'll gloss over my first few listens, fully forget about the album as new releases begin to saturate my playlist, then one day when the shuffle stars align or I have the unprecedented urge to revisit the album, suddenly my third eye will open and it'll become my new favorite song. It happened with Depression, Distance, and Seventh by CLC, Give Me Your by G-Idol, and I have faith it'll happen with Ting-a-Ring Ring. So I would give this album an 8 out of 10. Cherry Rush is a solid and incredibly welcome addition to Cherry Bullet's discography. This mini album proved to me just how good Cherry Bullet's B-sides can be, and I'm actually shocked no one ever seems to talk about them. I know I said many times how I wish they'd kept their video game concept, but I do genuinely enjoy their current concept and how their sound keeps so many of its previous elements. If anything, their sound has stayed the same, but is now simply in an evolved form. You could toss a few video game elements into the MV and suddenly nothing's changed. Actually, my only complaint with this overall, beyond Follow Me's disappointing chorus, is that the MV is just a glorified performance video. Like, FNC, if you're not going to bring back the concept, at least bring back the budget. I actually had this song on repeat for like 30 minutes before I finally let myself move on to the rest of the album. Like, I've heard this song before, but I just love it so much. Like, this song is so delicious. I'll genuinely never understand how some of you were disappointed by it. Like, are we listening to the same song? Do you hate love? Do you hate space? Do you hate women? Like, what are you not hearing with this? I think it's important to note, though, that, like, I adore 80s synth pop, and my favorite instrument is a steel drum. So, like, of course I'm going to love a song with synthesized steel drums at the post-chorus and with sparkling synths sprinkled throughout. Seriously, this song is like sonic glitter. And the fact that those synthesized steel drums happen at Yuju's part, who happens to be my bias and happens to have the best part in the song, it's so perfect. I don't see anyone's issue here. I don't see it. This song was made for me, and you know what? It'll stay for me because I'm sorry that the rest of you don't appreciate it. I've seen complaints that it's too similar to Love So Sweet, and while I can see how you could think that, I would like to let you know that you're wrong. It builds on Love So Sweet sound and perfects it. And just like Love So Sweet, I can guarantee you this will be my top 20 tracks of the year. Even if your clear lack of taste prevents you from enjoying this masterpiece, at least pretend for Cherry Bullet's sake. Like, I believe in K-pop brainwashing. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Give it 86 more listens. It'll grow on you. You just haven't listened to it enough. After 30 listens to Love in Space in a row, I finally let myself move on to the next song, admittedly hesitant in case it didn't live up to this album's title track, but thankfully I had nothing to worry about. Is it as good as Love in Space? No, but no other song ever will be. I don't have any super strong feelings toward this song, but just know that I do love it. It is in my playlist. I will be streaming every day. It is a masterpiece. Definitely one of their strongest B-sides. Honestly, probably my number 3, but I won't speak too soon since we still have 3 more, and so far Cherry Bullet has been very consistently delivering. So this one isn't bad, but it's not for me. The deep male, like, bum 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 bum, is very bothersome to me, and just overall the 50s doo-wop-ish style of the chorus and bridge just isn't my style. It's far from anything awful, but if you're going to pull from the past, my preferred decades are 70s and 80s, and I have final say on all music because the world does indeed revolve around me and my preferences, especially when it comes to Cherry Bullet. Oh, this one is good. Does it make sense if I say this song reminds me of Sharpay Evans? Like, do you see my vision? Well, if you don't, then just imagine that this is the song that used to play in Justice, but like a slightly matured version of it. Oh, you don't know the store Justice? Okay, then it's a refined rendition of what I can only assume is what Barbie plays on her car speakers on her drive to her Malibu beach house, or like blasting through her bedroom while getting ready for a night out. This song sounds flirty and confident, but I'm not going to check the lyrics to confirm that because even if they don't, I'm just going to headcanon it. I'd still probably put this song below Broken, but it's definitely above Hiccups. Sorry, Hiccups. Yeah, I have no idea how I feel about this song. This song is so confusing for me. Like, I don't have strong feelings of love for it. I don't have strong feelings of hate for it, but like I also don't have like feelings of indifference. Like, I kind of like it, I kind of don't like it. I write down little notes for all of these of like how I feel about the song, what I like think, but I have nothing written here except that the post-chorus reminds me of Kingo's dance scene from Eternals. Like, that is it. That's it. I have no thoughts on this song. That is maybe I'm just like burnt out from listening to their entire discography. Like, it's a small discography, but I don't know. You know, this one it's a song. It's a song, you know? And we'll just have to leave it at that. For me, this one is a 7 out of 10. Despite my disliking of Hiccups, which I know, that's a me problem, but despite that and my confusion towards my boo, I genuinely love this album. I think it does a nice job of rounding out their discography and connecting the dots between the previous albums. The B-sides do a good job of highlighting the title track, but it's impossible to have a bad album when you have a song like Love in Space as your title. Like, come on, that's an automatic A, and I know 7 out of 10 is technically a C-, but this isn't school, okay? I dropped out of college after 1 semester. Grades mean nothing to me. Cherry Bullet can get as many A's as I want to give them. So I love Cherry Bullet. I love them. I really do. I am a Lullet. I will be stealing my friend's light stick. I will be hijacking the KCON USA roster to add them to the lineup. And I will be taking legal ownership of their career from FNC because I will do it right. I'm so happy that I finally decided to look into their discography like this. Like, their title tracks have always been enjoyable, if not magnificent. I'm looking at you, Love in Space. But their B-sides just enhance them so much. Like, I didn't think that they could get better, but they did. They did. When you hear the B-sides and you put it all into it's so good. Like, I'm mad at myself for not getting into them sooner, despite knowing about them as members were still being announced. But like, at least that saved me from the heartbreak of losing 3 members. Like, you will absolutely absolutely catch me on the edge of my seat for their next comeback. And I'm so excited. Like, FNC, please, please do not make us wait another year. Please give me Cherry Bullet, because I promise you, I will single-handedly get them a win. I promise you. So while editing, I realized I should probably put an overall ranking of the songs in here. So here it is. I have no idea the general opinion on these songs amongst Lullets. So if I am completely wrong, then feel free to throw rocks at me. But I'm pretty sure that this is the correct opinion. And if you disagree, then I will throw rocks at you. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really hope you enjoyed hearing what I had to say about Cherry Bullet and my first true listen to them. If you're interested in my thoughts on other groups, then just subscribe, follow along for my little journey in rediscovering K-pop, and let me know if there's any groups that you would like to hear me talk about. Again, I will gladly revisit discographies I have already listened to, but for now my primary focus will be groups that I haven't heard more than just a few title tracks of. But yeah, hopefully I will see you next time, and thank you so much for watching.